The solid waste management needs total rethinking. It is high time for rethinking of solid waste management, 14 years after the federal government attempted to federalize the service, which is a basic function of any local authority worldwide. So since 1999, the federal government attempted to federalize it, but up until yesterday, it is not successful, and we call for the federal government to rethink the whole idea. We welcome the postponement of the implementation of the Solid Waste Management Act 2007, Act 672, as announced by the Housing and Local Government Minister, Datuk Chor Chee Hong. The enforcement of the Act, which was supposed to be effective this April 30th, has now been postponed as some technical aspect needed to be sorted out first, according to Chor. The Act is the product of the privatization spree of public services under the then Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Solid waste management, like sewerage, cannot be divorced from political and administrative overseeing by the state and local authorities. It is just impractical for Putrajaya to be responsible for uncollected garbage from the capital, 100 miles away. The impracticality of the concurrent federalization and privatization of solid waste that underpins Act 672 has left the management of solid waste in this country in limbo for the last decade and a half, while other regional neighbors such as South Korea, Taiwan, and Thailand have progressed leaps and bounds towards the direction of sustainability. The future of solid waste management must be handled locally, with reduce, reuse, and recycle at its core, and privatization may not be necessary if the public sector is equally efficient. We, today here, call on the federal government to consult the state government through the National Local Government Council to look into all possible options and not this particular option alone, and to convene a solid waste management summit that will consider new thinking, which is forward-looking and not trapped in the misguided policy of the Mahathirist privatization.
The Kuala Lumpur, every year they spend 200 million for the waste management in Kuala Lumpur. But we can find out in Kuala Lumpur alone, is the rubbish everywhere in the city. I think it's a bad image for the capital of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Because Kuala Lumpur is one of the tourist hot spots in the country. Our TPKL, I think the handling of this waste management, especially Alam Pola, is far behind the standards we are required. I think they should have a more competitor, especially those that can maybe have arrange more waste management company to participate in the management of the rubbish management in Kuala Lumpur.
Since our former objection in the National Solid Waste Committee meeting last September, chaired by the Deputy Prime Minister, we have followed up with a formal letter from the State Secretary to the Ministry, expressing once again our objection to the takeover, and also to apply for a license under the Act to operate our own solid waste management, and also to ask the Ministry to state what would be the consequence if Penang is recalcitrant in this matter, that we are still insisting that we would not want to surrender. But until now, the Ministry has not been engaging the Penang State Government. So, as I said, we do not see how it can be implemented, since we have not signed an agreement with the concession company. So the sudden announcement that it is put off once again to consider some technical and financial issue, I think is timely. We are actually waiting for them to engage us so that we can once again tell them why it is more pertinent for local authorities to manage the solid waste instead of a concession company. And we are still awaiting the federal government to engage the Penang State Government.